This week in Jamaica Now, 56 Jamaicans returned in the first U.S. deportation flight for 2025. Kingston mayor dismisses claims of partisan use of public money. Why did Spice cancel her school tour in Jamaica? And a UN report unveils a food crisis in Jamaica. I'm Jovan Johnson, and this is Jamaica Now. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has warned Jamaicans who may be deported under the United States immigration crackdown to obey the law or face consequences. He was speaking on Friday amid heightened concerns about the policies under the new President Donald Trump.
This is not the Jamaica that you left 10 or 20 years ago. It is not the JCF that you left 10 or 20 years ago. You will either meet a judge or your maker if you come back to Jamaica and violate our laws and create havoc.
And the Prime Minister said Jamaica has been preparing for U.S. immigration changes and assured that all returning Jamaicans would be welcomed.
It may be a good thing to have some of our Jamaican talent return to our shores to help us to build our country. There are many Jamaicans now who are feeling uncertain in the United States and who are considering returning on their own to avoid the indignity of being deported. And we welcome you back to Jamaica. We want your talent, we want your resources. There are many opportunities in Jamaica that together we can take advantage of and build the country that we would want.
Now, earlier this week, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith confirmed that a routine U.S. deportation flight arrived on Thursday. It was the first of such flights for this year. Some 56 Jamaicans were returned, including ex-convict Courtney Wilson, who is back home for the first time in 33 years. The minister dismissed social media claims of mass deportations as categorically false and urged affected Jamaicans to seek legal advice. Over 3,500 undocumented migrants have been arrested since January 20, when Mr. Trump took office. He has also promised that the U.S. will take action against countries that refuse to accept the deported persons. Dancehall star Spice has been forced to cancel a school tour meant to empower and inspire students after outcry from some parents and church groups who said she does not have the moral authority to speak to children. National Parent-Teacher Association of Jamaica President Stuart Jacobs condemned the event. He claimed that the Grammy nominee has created what he calls a platform of indecency, lewd and slack lyrics and urged principals not to allow her in schools. He said while he believes in redemption, some acts cannot be erased. Now, Spice launched her Oh No school tour in Portmore on Monday, aiming to inspire students to reject negative influences. She visited St. Catherine and Waterford high schools before cancelling the rest of the tour. Pastor Joseph Williams of the Calvary Evangelistic Church of God has called for Spice to be allowed to continue the tour. He said a person's past should not be used to condemn them and pointed to biblical teachings on forgiveness. Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby has dismissed allegations of partisan misuse of public funds at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, insisting that allocations followed established procedures. The allegations were first reported by Nationwide News Network on Thursday. They center on claims that officials of the opposition People's National Party, PNP, influenced the disbursement of public funds through the KSAMC for the benefit of the party's political work.
That sort of treatment of public funds is unlawful and corrupt. In fact, this scandal which has hit the PNP Secretariat and the leadership of the KSAMC is not just corruption, sir. It is institutionalized, organized crime which entire Jamaica must condemn.
On Friday, Mr. Swaby, a PNP councillor who also chairs the KSAMC, said municipalities do not disburse cash and that at no time did the KSAMC authorize any such disbursement to any individual. He said as mayor, he has the authority to allocate resources to divisions without representatives. He said he did this through consultations with Jamaica Labour Party members of Parliament representing areas with vacant council seats. Mr. Swaby's statement follows Deputy Mayor and Jamaica Labour Party Councillor Delroy Williams, who demanded answers amid a report that two anti-corruption bodies are probing the allegations. Nationwide News said that it obtained conversations about Christmas work projects involving ousted PNP caretaker for Kingston Central constituency Lawrence Rowe and other officials of the PNP. Mr. Rowe and the party have been at odds since his removal earlier this month. The controversy comes amid heightened political tensions ahead of the general election, which is due by September. It's also a test for PNP President Mark Golding, who on Sunday said he would not tolerate wrongdoers in any future government that he leads. The highly anticipated annual general meeting of the Association of Local Government Authorities of Jamaica, ALGA-J, descended into chaos on Friday after a dispute over the agenda led to a physical confrontation. Chairman and Jamaica Labour Party councillor Winston Maraj suffered minor injuries when a councillor forcibly took a microphone from him at the Gulfview Hotel in Manchester, forcing the meeting's postponement. People's National Party councillors objected to the agenda's late distribution and early voting for new leadership. Jamaica Labour Party councillor Courtney Edwards condemned the disruption, calling it a calculated action by the PNP to delay proceedings. The police were called and they restored order. Senior Jamaica Labour Party JLP councillor Lee Clark has endorsed Delano Seaveright to succeed St Andrew North Central Member of Parliament MP Carl Samuda, warning the party against imposing a candidate for the constituency. Mr. Clark is the councillor for the Whitehall division in the constituency. Mr. Seaveright's primary challenger appears to be attorney Christian Tavares Finson, whose father Tom is the Senate President. Mr. Seaveright, a senior advisor in the Tourism Ministry, was elected vice chairman of the constituency last November. JLP insiders say key members of the party leadership are supporting Mr. Tavares Finson. But Mr. Clark, a veteran politician, has dismissed Mr. Tavares Finson's political credentials, stressing the need for grassroots involvement, which he said Mr. Seaveright has. The JLP officials suggest party leaders are trying to avoid a decisive runoff. General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang says it may be in the party's interest for Mr. Samuda to stay on as the party's representative until after the next general election. A Clarendon woman has been charged with malicious communication after allegedly issuing threats against the police in a social media video following the death of reputed Don Othniel Tickman Laban. The police say 22-year-old Dana Warren from Maypen in Clarendon used the video to incite violence, issue threats and disrupt the public peace.
Spanish Town, hometown, yeah. Look up and I'm ceiling. Green from left to all when it black wire drop down, look up and I'm ceiling. Green for days. One daddy badness. We not put them out and talk. One daddy badness. Put you now get it. All of the Babylon them. Be this to a threat. Make this be a threat. We're not gonna get it back. Spanish Town is going to be locked down. I'm sorry, I'm not talk this with no water in my mouth. No water, no filter. Yeah. Spanish Town is going to be a chaos. Can you know why? Daddy, what? You know daddy, him come like a regular person, bro. Just like a regular man. The man drove all in kind. Him run joke with everybody along to baby them love him, man. And a dead brother. Dead bird.
Mr. Laban, the reputed leader of the One Order gang, was killed in a police confrontation on January 22. It triggered a flare-up of violence in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, where the gang is based. And the government imposed a state of public emergency in the St. Catherine North Police Division, which includes Spanish Town, on Tuesday. The security measure, which gives police and soldiers enhanced powers of search and arrest, will run for 14 days. And gunmen on a motorcycle launched a brazen attack on Molynes Rd in St Andrew early Monday, but were stopped by the Jamaica Defence Force Private Fernando Wayne Dixon, who was killed in the confrontation. The 26-year-old soldier was driving an Audi SUV when the attackers rode up and shot at the car. Reports indicate that the injured soldier used the vehicle to fatally strike assailants Marlon Rattray and Shamar Foster, who were armed with an M16 rifle and a pistol. There were 4 passengers in the soldier's car. 2 were wounded, while the other 2, believed to be members of the Rome gang, were detained. The attackers were linked to the rival William Lane gang. The police suspect the shooting stemmed from a gang dispute at Club Mecca's Dolly Sundays event. Authorities have urged 2 men, Mushy Bushy and Whizzle, to report to investigators. The JDF has yet to comment on Mr. Dixon's death. The government has allocated $315 million to repair vulnerable households affected by heavy rainfall between July and December last year. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness told Parliament on Tuesday that each constituency will receive $5 million. A recent United Nations report has revealed that over half of Jamaicans faced moderate to severe food insecurity between 2021 and 2023. Clinical nutritionist Dr. Suzanne Suarez-Winter has described the findings as frightening. She noted that many Jamaicans struggle to afford or access nutritious food, especially in urban areas. She also pointed to Jamaica's high reliance on food imports, poor dietary shifts, and ultra-processed food. Dr. Suarez-Winter is urging the authorities to update policies on food labeling and school nutrition. And economist Dr. Adrian Stokes emphasized that while macroeconomic stability exists, policy must now drive real wage growth and long-term economic expansion to address the issue. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner, and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on your notification, and subscribe today. I'm Jovan Johnson.